Ah, okay. Hello and welcome. My name's Randy Rolfe and I'm an independent consultant with Nikken, and this is a 30-minute overview of Nikken, all that we think it has to offer in health and wealth. And I'm going to go through a PowerPoint at the beginning and then ask for some stories from our special guest, Darlene. And so I'm going to start sharing screen and share my story as we go along. So we believe Nikken is a better way, and I have to get to everything's slow this morning because my computer just updated. There we go. So Nikken we invite people to make the Nikken choice. It's all about active wellness and collaborative entrepreneurship. And I discovered Nikken 20 years ago, and it's an amazing company, and it, and it makes a huge difference in many, many lives, millions and millions of customers and hundreds of thousands of distributors like myself who are independent contractors with Nikken to share the message of Nikken. And the thing that Nikken is based on is the compounding effect of small daily choices. And these daily choices add up. They make a huge difference for everything: health, relationships, happiness, income, and success. And it's just over time, small decisions. Are we getting enough sleep? Are we eating properly? Are we staying hydrated? Are we hugging our kids? And so on. Really, really, it's the daily decisions and the good habits that we form that make all the difference in life. It's not big decisions, you know, oh, I'm going to make $30,000 this year, or I'm going to lose 30 pounds. It's about what we do today that adds up. So first we're going to talk about the collaborative entrepreneurship, the business opportunity, and we're going to talk first of the Nikken's philosophy of pursuing balance in the 5 pillars of health. And we believe success is the progressive realization of that worthy ideal: having healthy body, healthy mind, healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. And 40 years ago when Nikken was founded, this was the core philosophy. And how many corporations do you know that have that kind of solid philosophy? I used to be a corporate lawyer, so I know how rare that is to have something so profound operational in everyday decisions of the company. The main thing that I believe Nikken is striving to do is to reduce chronic stress. And modern life creates amazing chronic daily stress. And we often don't take good care of ourselves because we've got so many responsibilities, financial worries, sandwich generation, young people and old people to take care of, not enough satisfaction in the job, not enough time, not enough to sleep, not enough time to eat properly, and so on. The main stress in today's life is finances, because you need them for all the other pillars to be healthy. And this is a diagram of the 4 quadrants of how we earn our living and how we try to deal with that financial stress. On the left side, most people, 95% of the population, are either employees or self-employed. And in both cases, you have no leverage. In a job, you're only getting paid what the job is worth, not what you're contributing. And time equals money. If you want more control over your life, you can have your own business, but still time equals money. If you get sick, nothing happens. And 95% of our population is on that left side of the quadrants, and they only control 5% of the wealth. So it's not the method to getting financially free. On the right side are the business owners and the investors. The investors, sure, they can put their money to work for them. They leverage their money, and it can grow very quickly if they're wise, like Warren Buffett, whose picture is there. But it takes a lot of money to get started. If you have $200,000 in savings, you're only going to get 5% of that a year, and if you're invested wisely. So that does not support a modern family. And so you need a couple $1 million to actually get a comfortable income. And it's hard to start out with that kind of money. If you're a business owner, it still can take $1 million or $2 million to get started with your own business, and then you can leverage the work effort of other people. 5% of the population does one of these two things as a business owner, but they control 95% of the wealth in the country. So that's obviously a better way to go. But is there a way to be a business owner without having already $500,000 or $1 million set aside to invest in your own business, or to enough credit to get big loans from the company that you have to, from the bank that you have to pay back? So what's happening today is that especially the millennials are leading the gig economy, where we're adding income from temporary engagements and part-time engagements, adding to that to our regular income. And it gives us increased mobility. People change jobs several times in their career now, and they're free to do that if they have some extra income coming in. Millennials know that corporations aren't taking care of their employees anymore in the long term, so they're looking particularly at getting work that they can have control over. It's very cost efficient because most gig jobs involve working from home and maybe on the computer, and not a whole lot of investment, and more work-life balance. You can control your schedule. This shows that the growth of the gig economy is huge. People are driving for Uber, for instance, and Uber's grown by a factor of 1,000, from 60 million to 68 billion, while GM's just gone up 1 billion. And we can see the impact of the internet because Amazon has grown by a factor of 5 in just 5 years, while Walmart is actually just holding steady. So what is collaborative entrepreneurship, the Nikken advantage? Well, it's an amazing part of the gig economy, and nobody knows about it yet, so it's a really fun opportunity to share. It's a low cost of entry, just $99 to become an independent consultant. It's easy to integrate into your life. You just work from home, and the system, like McDonald's, is very well developed and easy to teach, easy to learn, easy to operate. We have wonderful leadership development, wonderful leaders to pave the way. And so it really is the perfect gig for the modern economy. And so what do we do as entrepreneurs? We compound and leverage. We leverage the efforts of others, and it compounds by the more and more people that we help with the Nikken product and opportunity. So this is a nice picture of exactly what we do in Nikken. We share Nikken. We start and commit to get our products and get a list of contacts, and then we share and promote the business. Basically let people try products. They sell themselves. We invite people to enjoy the camaraderie as well as the products and the vision and the business of Nikken. And Nikken does all the heavy lifting, the research, the inventory, the operations, the accounting, and the shipping and the storage and everything. And then Nikken pays us for bringing them customers and new consultants. Very generous commissions. So the core of what Nikken is offering is the certified Nikken Wellness Home. Nikken started with breakthroughs in the importance of Earth's energy, the natural magnetic field that all life depends on, that we've removed ourselves from by living indoors. Then they added nutrition, purified water, and light and air all together. So that's our pretty diagram of the Nikken Certified Wellness Home. It creates what I call the ultimate wellness environment in your home, so you get refreshed and renewed every night. And you have some products to wear during the day. So it's really a cash flow engine. Once somebody starts their wellness home with whatever they're comfortable with investing in, some water, some magnetic products, some nutritions, the monthly support is our consumables, the skincare, and the nutritionals. Then they can upgrade, switch up from a PyMag water bottle to a water system, upgrade from maybe a pillow and a quilt to a mattress topper, all natural, based on science and replicating nature, and then finding additional users, relatives, friends, and customers. And then Nikken is constantly researching millions of dollars every year to learn what it takes to keep our bodies healthy. So this is truly a purpose-driven model. This circle that you can see is the core circle of influence. We have the little wellness homes, 5 of them at the top, are our leading customers who are using the monthly consumables and building their wellness home. And the 3 people below are our partners. They're the consultants that are eager to build and reproduce their own core circle of influence with Nikken. And we help them do that. And this is a picture of how we do that. We call it ABC. So we're compounding our own efforts through the efforts of others. We teach 3 to duplicate us, and then they can teach 3. And so you start out, if you're a consultant, you start out as the A, you invite a new partner who's the B, and they bring their potential customers or consultants to you as the C. And you make a presentation, take them to events, give them materials, and invite them to join us either as a customer or a consultant. So we have a huge support system. These names are as we become more and more valuable to the company, and we get special recognition and commissions for doing that, and we help each other. You can see all these people are working hard to help each other, and each is building their wellness home and their network of consultants. And this is a more organic picture of how it works. If you're the seed, when you have an apple seed, there's no telling how many apples that one little seed can lead to. And we have many people in Nikken who started out just starting out with their own wellness home and now have literally tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of people who are benefiting from these products, and many also from the business opportunity. And this wonderful picture is the Nikken Advantage. And you see at the top, you're at the top of this round picture with your wellness home, and your 3 leaders find their 3, and that's where the 9 comes from. And each of them has their 5 leading customers, so that's 45 customers already impacted. And if you have an organization that looks like that, you'll be earning at least $500 a month, and we call that the silver level. And this is based on the idea that each customer and consultant is spending about $100 a month, which will give them all their vitamins and their skincare and so on. So when your 9 find their 3, then you're touching the lives of 135 and so on. And that puts you at the gold level where you're making over $1,000 a month. So this is a perfect business plan. The numbers are there. It's quite exciting. And in the lower right-hand corner, it's about people, planet, and profit. And we do it all. We help people. We impact the planet. Nikken's very environmentally sensitive as well, but we're reaching many people. And there are Royal Diamonds in our group that do have thousands of people in their group, and they've touched even more. So that's a really wonderful diagram. And this is just a quick scheme of all the different ways Nikken rewards us: the commissions, the trips, the personal rebates and overrides and so on. We can go into more detail if you're interested. And so now we're going to look at active wellness from the wellness home, go into that in a little more detail. Again, it's all about the compounding effect of good sleep, good water, good nutrition, getting your rest, staying energized during the day. Let's see, I think I can bring back some people here. So let's see, Hattiejane, would you like to carry on with how stress affects our health? Hattiejane is co-host with me, and appreciate Hattiejane Darricourt being here.
Thank you, Randy. I apologize, everybody. I didn't realize I had turned the camera on when I was walking up my neighbor's thing. I was trying to possibly draw them into ours also, but they're not quite there yet. They will be. And that's wonderful thing about this Nikken business, because I can do it where I am, as I am, and how it suits the moment in time with the people I meet. And I love it. So neat. Let me tell you about the products. Randy, could you pop the slides for me? And now, because we talk about that we have a product line. The slide before, please, sir, ma'am. We have a product line that meets your wellness, your ongoing health, whatever state it's in. And we show here, we mention the fact that stress is prominent in any way, even if you're a top athlete, keeping your things going, getting your exercise, getting your nutrition right. The mother with the kids. Oh, Lord, mommies, we all know about that stress. And everything dealing also with the financial, keeping the budget, surviving. Sleep, you think, well, good, I can lay down. Or maybe I'm laying down too much. Maybe I'm just lazy. I get up only for the essentials. Sleep is when our body, true, deep, consistent sleep is when our bodies recover and replenish and repair. And without that, we're constantly running behind a rolling 8-ball. So Nikken addresses that. The air that we breathe. Outdoors, springtime, wonderful for many of us because those are pretty flowers and they put out their pollen so they'll stay healthy and grow more. Wonderful, except it brings little sneezes and wheezes. But indoors, you don't think about it, but it's the products that we're sleeping on, living on, the chemical factors we brought in are the natural fibers that have had some mold or something else growing with it that have affected our body's response to what we're breathing that really has influenced some people very drastically because of their personal bodies. And everybody is influenced because they're being exposed constantly to things that are possible, they're not as healthy as they need to be. Water is, as we're hearing more and more about our environment and more about how things are being impacted by our environment, it very seldom works very well to mention the fact that we're causing a lot of that environment impaction, but that's another subject. So Nikken has taken all those needs that we have that are everyday, ongoing, constant, and put them into our products. And our products deal with all those difficult things that we have of dealing with our ongoing maintenance of health. Well, whether we are fighting a disastrous disease, an inherited disease, or just an obnoxious kick against the shin when we went around the corner too tight. And we notice in our kids, as we've seen our own selves grow pretty big and we just get outside clothes and so forth, but it's our children that are constantly is showing up so much more that their own health needs are becoming more disastrous. And it's an ongoing trend that is happening in our world today. And that is okay, so we live with ourselves and our kids. We've got to do something about our kids. And this is where Nikken's environmental reality, using the earth sciences and dealing with solar science from our vast knowledge that's come through the space age and many other issues, and fantastic people who have gone, now wait a minute, I have this problem. Let me investigate this and see what is more closer to natural that the body likes better, that I can work with and do better. And we have. It's wonderful. This lovely motto of being healthy by choice, not by chance. So we can choose active wellness. Well, that's the bit. When I was introduced to Nikken, at the time, I was an active nurse in medical surgical floors, and I have been a bedside nurse all my life. And I was having illnesses that weren't to make too much sense, and they seemed to be going downhill. I was looking for plan B. And I knew that if anybody could bring this subtle awareness of energies, such as we have in the acupuncture field and acupressure field, which is where I was working with the massage therapy by that time, that the Japanese could. Look at what they've done with other companies. Whoops! Other product lines, such as electronics and cars. So I felt that the Japanese really could spearhead this change that was so necessary in our environment. And I thought of it for others, for my patients. I'm so glad I got into it over 20 years ago. But that's the story for another moment, because we don't want to go too long on this thing, because I've been talking long enough. So please take a look, talk to the people that has pointed you to this thing about this environmental greenhouse that we create for ourselves. You don't have to build any special things in the house. You don't have to buy very much, but you put it in, and your whole environment in the house improves. In the center there is that little treatment center. And when I had to go in the hospital because my lungs weren't maintaining my oxygen saturation to support my health, I got rid of my mother's cigarettes. But at the same time, that's when that particular portion of the upgrading and the improving that Nikken is constantly doing, and finding us the best things to help our personal health be better. I put 5 units in my house. So no matter what room I was in, it was supported, and then cleaning the air and keeping it clean. So when I came on oxygen, I got off, didn't have to have the tank more than 3 months. So, and that's good, because that could have been for life. Thank you, Randy. So as you see, this next slide shows, oh, look, there's nutritional skincare. And you say, skincare? Oh, so your makeup line. No. Where they go to the health of your skin. They go to the base of your health skin, of the things that improve your actual tissue health from external means. And then the nutritional line goes to how it supports your health internally. Just like when we take the cars or any of our mechanical things or any of our electronical things in for maintenance and upkeep, keep the dust off them or keep the things on them or get the oil in, make sure they have the right kind of gasoline, all sorts of this kind of oil, but not that kind of oil, because this kind of oil will work because there's so much heat and friction, but it won't work because it'll clog up, so it's got to need this kind of oil. They do the same thing with the nutritionals. Not every nutritional is essential for everybody, but everybody can take every nutritional and know they're getting 100% of what's in the label in each and every serving, which you can't do on anything over the counter. I'm sorry. And look into that, Google that up, because I won't go and talk about that right now. The environmental territory is that part within the house. You see the water reservoir back there. And what you do is you pour your tap water or your bottled water in the top of that. It comes down through a filtration system that super filtrates everything out in the best way ever. And then you can drink it or you can cook with it. Fantastic. And it tastes so good. And you only have to renew the filters every 3 months, and they're less than they're cheap. And then the shower head is because within the shower unit itself, it has that type of filter in it, not quite as sharp as our drinking water, but still your skin feels like silk, and you don't have as much ash. Oh my goodness. And the water bottle you take with you, if you're flying or you're going through some place that is very security, you can leave it empty till you get the other side of the security thing and then fill it from their water. And you've got the same quality of water that's in your major system. So you always have access to having water, whether it be bottled water somebody gives you free that's been sitting in the sun and absorbing all the lovely whatchamacallits from plastic, or something that you have that you just fill in, and so you have it portable. Then the sleep, the rest and relaxation point, oh, that was the original territory. The very original territory, because those little things that look like shoe thingamabobs they slide in underneath your feet, in your shoes, whichever, cut them to meet your feet, even flip-flops. And that adds the earth's field which we've taken for granted for years and we just barely still understand, but it's the field that protects us from the effects of the solar rays that are harmful to us. When the magnetic field goes out and around the earth, the solar flares that come toward us, which we think of as sunshine, but there's more to it than just that are harmful, that will burn the thing up, and so you have no life there existing as we know it. It protects us like a big umbrella. And so those waves go by us, and it doesn't affect our lives as badly as it could. That's what they're talking about, greenhouse effect and that problem that we're having, but that's another subject. So they started out with insoles because Dr. Masuda said, well, it made me feel a little better, and I thought some other people might feel comfortable. Like when you get home, you slip them into your house socks, and then you're not as irritable about your kids because you don't feel as exhausted. And that started up and became the biggest, fastest building company in Japan that's doing person to person, because we are a person to person business. This stuff is not in your stores. You may see it advertised on Amazon, but somebody has an overload, or someone's doing a research, or they just got good marketing sense, unfortunately. It's strictly a person-to-person business because that's the way they did in Japan. They weren't big store people. They weren't the big box store people. They went because they knew somebody and they trusted them. And that's the way we are.
Thank you,
Now,
Hattiejane. I really
I'm
appreciate it.
sorry, I get carried away.
No, I know, but that's important with your experience as a longtime nurse and your own personal experience. But I know Darlene has a busy schedule too, so I want to make sure she gets to share her story today for us. Darlene, let me unmute you and welcome you. And where are you? There you are. So please share how you discovered Nikken and the stories you began to tell us last time after the recording. So you were one of the younger Nikken consultants. You've only been involved there for less than 20 years. A lot of us have known it for many years, and it's really slowed down the aging process. And but you have some other wonderful stories to share, so please let us hear them.
Yes, well, thank you so much for letting me share my Nikken experience. I'm so passionate, as you all are, because Nikken is a wonderful company. But my career as an administrative assistant, office manager came to pass when God granted me the mission I longed for. In 1992, I became a stay-at-home mom and loved pouring my heart and soul into the rearing of my 3 children. I entered into retirement from my mission as a stay-at-home mom in 2016. This new chapter in my life had me feeling anxious and unsure that there was a purposeful mission for me, since I knew that, I longed for that being a mom. I didn't know what I was to do next. So in 2015, I was introduced to Nikken and became a customer. I got the mattress topper. I got the air purification system, the water. So I am a water snob, and I got the shower head, and I loved them. I was all in, just became that customer. But I am so thankful to Sherry Danzig, who asked me if I would like to be a consultant in November of 2017. This was my mission, and I wouldn't have known it if it wasn't for Sherry asking me. So what I want to share with you that are on this call today is keep in contact with your customers. You never know what's going on in their lives. It could be a new chapter like me, or maybe they didn't have a plan B for retirement and they need one right now. So be a blessing to them by asking if they could benefit from all the benefits of Nikken as a company and having their own freedom to work wherever they from wherever they want, when they want. Also, I'd like to share, Dr. Dubai said, we don't feel deterioration, nor do we feel prevention. So with that being said, let me share my Nikken product experience. I don't necessarily have any problems. I don't have any back issues or anything. I'm not diabetic. I'm pretty healthy. But after I became a consultant, I got the magnetic chair pad for my husband because he's in sales and he drives a lot. So he's sitting in the car, or when he is at the office in home 2 days a week, he's sitting in front of the computer. So I went to Seattle. It was a 5-hour flight from Atlanta. I flew out to Seattle and I took the chair pad and I sat on it, got out of the airport, and we got headed to our car, no problem. Coming back from Seattle to Atlanta, I didn't sit on the chair pad. And I didn't really understand. Sherry told me that it offers a passive massage. She was a massage therapist before. So I was like, okay, I really don't understand that. But anyways, I understand it now. Passive massage is basically, it's helping your body to stay awake and not get sore. And so I didn't sit on the chair pad coming back from Atlanta, or from Seattle to Atlanta. But when I got to the airport in Atlanta, we got out and we were walking and I felt like the Tin Man. My hips were not smooth. I wasn't walking smoothly. I was kind of, I felt like I needed some WD-40 to put, to make it smoother. And I realized, the chair pad, just do my own little things that I've noticed, because you don't realize when you don't necessarily have pain or a specific problem, you don't know, you just take it for granted. I remember Sherry sharing with me when I got my mattress topper. I knew it felt good when I laid down on it and, tried it when she let me. We were at a fair and I had tried it, she had it set up and everything. But I told her, I said, well, what am I going to notice? I sleep pretty good. And at the time I did, I wasn't really going through full-fledged menopause. So I was, not having my hot flashes as I am now. But anyways, she said, you'll notice when you get away from it. And in January of 2018, this year, I went to the summit in Utah, and it was my first time since 2015. December 2015 is when I got my mattress topper. I went and I was gone for a week, and I noticed the difference between being at home on my mattress topper. I flipped from side to side probably 3 times max. When I was in Utah, and I'm a very light sleeper, so I recognize when I flip from one side to the other. That doubled. I flipped 6 times easily each night. So I really realized the difference. And when I went down to Pensacola this past spring, I took the chair pad. And the first night, by the time I drove 6 hours straight, didn't stop, was fine because I sat on my chair pad, went in, slept, didn't sleep very good that night. Again, I tossed and turned. Oh, the next morning I went right down to my car. I got that chair pad out. I put it underneath the sheet and I slept fine the rest of the week. So that, just sharing that product with people who necessarily don't have, issues. Again, you don't feel prevention and you don't feel deterioration. So that's my little study. And I just love the products. And I love I don't know the name of it, but it's escaping me, but the stuff that gives you energy, it comes in powder or pill form. It does. I take that and I'm like the Energizer Bunny. I can just go and get all my things done and I don't feel, so exhausted. So thank you very much for letting me share my experiences with Nikken. I love the community that it has given me. I'm not, you know, I'm not at home entering that new retirement phase of my life and being scared, thinking, oh no, what am I going to do? It's just going to be my husband and I. I'm not ready for this. I have a mission, and that is with Nikken and the community and the 5 pillars. It's just, it's beautiful. So thank you very much, Randy, for asking me to share.
Oh, thank you, Darlene Whitis. That was wonderful, and all 5 pillars were affected from what you're sharing, and it's so important to what you said about we don't feel the deterioration or the prevention, but if we surround ourselves with these products, we do just act more at our potential, which is what our goal is with the 5 pillars of health. So I really appreciate you sharing. And let me just go back to a couple of quick, why is this not happening? There we go. Quick slides. And so let's begin your new success story, and remember what Hattiejane and Darlene have shared, how powerful these products can be. Just integrate them into your life. Start somewhere, whether insoles, the water, the seat pad, the seat. That changed my husband's life. He loves to drive, and it made all that difference. Like you said, Darlene, the sleep system, absolutely amazing. The nutritionals, any one of them that may interest you, immunity and jade green times and for weight loss, that kind of thing. And then you can become a part-time entrepreneur and share with friends and family. Nikken sends you a check when you have contacts who order from Nikken. And you can also build a full-time career. So please explore it more with the person who recommended you to this webinar. And remember the stories that we've heard today. And thanks again, Hattiejane and Darlene Whitis, for being our special guest. Let me go back and explore Nikken. We like to take people through an information process and try the products. Many consultants, the easiest thing is just let the products sell themselves. So get to a demonstration and look at the compensation plan and think about your 5 pillars and where you want most to improve your balance and abundance in life. So thanks very much for joining. I'm going to end the recording now.